KZNS AM Salt Lake City and 102.7 KSL FM HD2 Salt Lake City Midvale. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know. News update. This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NFL.
The Packers are first and goal. Love takes, looks, throws slant, right side. Touchdown, Romeo Doubs! Got the slant on Mike Sainristil, still the second-year cornerback, and the Packers on the board first, leading 6-0. Love looking around, takes the snap from under center, gives to Jacobs again, blasting his way, left side end zone. Yes. Touchdown, Green Bay Packers. Josh Jacobs, and it's 13-0. Jacobs to the right side of Love in the shotgun slot left. And faking the handoff. Love rolls right, throws end zone.
Oh, he's got him.
Kraft, touchdown, and a Lambeau leap on a beautiful play fake by Jordan Love. Tucker Kraft, 8-yard touchdown reception.
Highlights from Thursday night game, much anticipated. Two of the top three teams in the NFC, arguably, and the Packers, the better team by a wide margin, PK. They were up 2 scores most of that game when Washington made it a 7-point game in the fourth quarter. Green Bay responded with 10 quick points. It was all Packers.
All the time.
Jordan Love.
The best.
Had a good night throwing the ball. 19-31, 292 yards and 2 scores. No picks. A reminder that no matter how well you play out of the gate, and Green Bay's off to a solid 2-0 start. They got Cleveland next week, so 3-0 looks doable. It is a game of attrition. Packers lose wide receiver Jaden Reed with a broken collarbone. He's expected to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Commanders lose running back Austin Eckler with an apparent Achilles injury that looks like it can end his season.
I would remind people that it's a game and just leave it at that.
Aha! Big games coming up this weekend. Eagles-Chiefs Super Bowl rematch. I've already used the Eagles in our lock of the week, only using one-time elimination thing here. So I can't go any near that, but off what you saw from the Chiefs in week 1, you got confidence in them?
Sure.
Yeah.
You don't play poker a lot, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, you don't use your trump card right off the bat.
Right off the bat?
I tried to save you, but some things I can't do. I
don't think trump card is a poker term, but I get your point.
Okay.
Depends on the game, right? But
you're the expert all of a sudden.
Spades and hearts, baby. Where's your trump?
I bow to the A-type personality.
Okay.
It's just easier that way.
Sunday Night Football, Buccaneers and Texans. Lions and Bears both dropped division games right out of the gate. Now they got a division game week 2. Who gets a W and who digs an enormous hole?
I don't see division games as being any more important than any other game.
Probably a little less so now. We've got 3 wild cards. Takes a little of the heat off of it. Browns and Ravens. They're talking that up. Cleveland fans still mad that Baltimore stole their team. 30 years later, when you got a team back, can you still be that mad? Just looking for something to talk about.
That's something that you remember.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
College football tonight. A couple of Big 12 games, 4 Big 10 teams playing. Colorado is at Houston. Obviously, BYU is going to see Colorado here in a couple of weeks.
Obviously.
Houston's off to a nice 2-0 start. So, our chance to scout Colorado. See what they've got now that they've decided to go with their third-string quarterback. Make him the starter.
But wouldn't he be the first team?
Now he would be. K-State, Arizona, you remind us that is a non-conference game, masquerading as a conference game, but 2 conference teams won't count in the standings.
But the implications will be enormous. Desperado in Tucson.
Can Arizona get to 3-0?
Yeah.
Off to a 2-0 start, beating Hawaii and Weber State.
Well, you know, each time you get a win, you get more confidence, and maybe they're more dangerous than we thought.
We had surprises. We had surprises last year. Why couldn't they be a surprise this year?
Yeah.
That Arizona K-State game's on Big Fox at 7 o'clock. ESPN has a Colorado game at 5:30.
Yeah.
Get your college football started early tonight.
I will, yeah.
Games matching ranked teams Saturday. Georgia and Tennessee, 1:30 on ABC. Big game in the SEC. South Florida with two really good wins. Beat Boise State, beat Florida. Now they're at Miami, 2:30 on the CW.
Oh.
And Texas A&M, Notre Dame, 5:30 on NBC and Peacock. Notre Dame lost their opener. Well, they dropped 0-2. Most of the country will be rooting for Texas A&M. Let's open up another at-large berth in the 12-team college football playoff. Get the Irish beat.
You are wrong, man. Most of the country will be root for Notre Dame because most of the country is Notre Dame fans. They got them all over the planet. High, low, in, out.
I believe most people will be rooting against them. Come on, they don't have 51% of the country rooting for Notre Dame.
I know. They got about 65.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Utah.
It's always a hostile crowd. You know, my memory of as a player and of coaching there is they'll get after you pretty good, crowd will. And so, you know, an environment you got to be able to handle. The elevation for us shouldn't be a big deal. We just got to go up there and play our game.
That's all it is, man. Just play your game.
Kyle Whittingham talking about the environment, and Laramie play their game, get to 3-0.
Yeah, you play your game. That's what it's about, man. Hat on hat. You just play your game, you know. Just control the line of scrimmage, control the clock. I feel young again.
You going to watch for anything in this game?
I'm going to watch handoffs. I'm going to watch tackles. I'm going to
You
watch
know
punts.
what I mean.
I'm going to watch completions. I'm going to watch incompletions. I'm going to watch everything.
Is there a place where the Utes can be tested that you are focusing on? You find this more interesting than other things? I mean, you expect their O-line to be really good, blah, blah, blah.
I was just going to watch the game. I don't know that they need to be zeroed in on anything individually. I think what we've seen is what we will continue to see. I don't think we'll see things that are out of the ordinary for this Utah team. I believe they already have an identity. It seems like they always have an identity. When they don't have the identity, that's the absolute exception. And they'll do what Utah does. The difference being that the quarterback is more of a running threat than they've had. But that is their identity. And we've known since last December when Beck and Dampier came aboard that would be their identity. So we've had literally 8-9 months to digest this is who this team will be. And this is who this team is. And we will continue to see that. And we'll see how it plays out against better competition, which is to come.
Utah and Wyoming tomorrow, 6 o'clock on the CBS Sports Network. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Utah State.
State opening Mountain West Conference play against Air Force tomorrow, 7:45 on FS1. How good is Broncos team? Can they handle Air Force? Can they get to 1-0? Feeling great about themselves if they win this game.
Yeah.
You assume they'd beat McNeese State and probably lose to Vandy, but if that holds for him, 3-2 and 1-0 in conference play with a new coach, that'd be a great start.
You've got Vandy being a bigger brand than Utah State.
Going on the road to win an SEC game, I don't think they've done that very often, even if it is the bottom side of the SEC there.
So what happened in the 60s has a reference today?
Yes, I learned it by watching you. Arizona State never won at Mississippi State. I went to bet ESPN it. No, I didn't.
Never won at
They haven't won at an SEC
they're
school.
0-1 at Mississippi State.
At an SEC school.
You're right. You got me there.
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
They've never won.
I painted a very specific corner, and then I stood in it. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
And Trout drives one, left field, back for to Rosarena. There is home run, number 399 for Mike Trout.
That was Trout here. Pitch to Aaron, swinging a drive. Looks like he's done it again. Giddy up, gone. Into the bullpen again. Another home run for Aaron Judge, his second tonight. 46 on the season and ties Joe DiMaggio fourth place on the all-time Yankee franchise home run list.
The next pitch, Kafus with a high drive. Deep center field. On the run is Zisbell. Track, wall, gone! How about that? C.J. Kafus with a two-run home run to center. And just like that, Cleveland has a 3-2 lead in the eighth.
Highlights from around Major League Baseball Thursday about half baseball playing. I don't know how often this happens, PK, but every home team won. What's that all about? You don't usually think of home field advantage that much in baseball, but
No, it's a fluke.
nine games, nine home teams win.
Wow.
That was quite a bit of amazement from you. Mariners needed 12 innings. Yeah, with a runner on second base now in extra innings. We don't usually have games going that long, but 12 innings. Mariners beat the Angels 7-6. They're chasing the Astros. Astros got beat, so they pick up a game. Blue Jays win 6-0. Blue Jays 22 games over 500 with a 3-game lead over the Yankees in the AL East. You heard the Yankees getting the big home run there. The home run list is in play all the time now, it seems like. Yankees beat the Tigers 9-3.
Yeah, I think I read, though, he's got a long way to go.
For the next one?
Yeah, you're starting to get way up there. And DiMaggio wasn't a big-time home run hitter, as we know.
An all-around guy.
Yeah.
Padres beat the Rockies 2-0. The Dodgers didn't play, so they inch a half game closer to the division lead there. Got any big series you're watching this weekend?
Yeah, Dodgers-Giants.
Dodgers-Giants, there
Giants
it is.
only a couple games back at a wild card. Mets have been floundering.
Mets have been floundering. The Reds, will they have a good weekend? They're in Sacramento.
Yeah, they're also two back.
They're two back, so they've got a chance.
Yeah.
Yankees, Red Sox, Apple TV tonight, 5 o'clock as they start their series. And they're both sitting in wild card spots, 3 and 3.5 games behind the Blue Jays.
I guess we know what the Sunday night game is then. Oh, they don't have. Did they back off on Sunday now that football started?
That is an excellent question. Or did they just move it to Sunday afternoon? Why would you pass on a Yankee-Red Sox game, right?
Well, I mean, what do you mean did they move it to Sunday afternoon?
Well, if they're putting a Yankee, move the window a little bit. Let's see, Sunday.
They play Sunday night or they don't.
I'm looking for their game.
Yeah, Maron. At the MLB app, you can just go right there and move it along.
Move it along. Find it.
Jeez.
Yes, ESPN, 5 o'clock.
Well, I don't care anymore. You took so long.
Did you care? The Bees lost to Tacoma last night, 7-4. 3 games left at the ballpark this season. Tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. First pitch tonight, 7 o'clock on the Zone. DJ and PK.
#RSL.
RSL hosting Sporting Kansas City tomorrow. The club announced that they've extended the contract for the captain. Rafael Cabral, 35 years old now. He's played every minute of the season this year. He's been really good. Saved their bacon multiple times. They got him on a free transfer. Didn't even have to give a lot up to get him, and he has been a good find.
Well, if it was free, then it would be nothing.
Yeah, right. Now they signed him through the 2027 season, so he gets a couple more years, and they got an option for 28. Pablo Mastroni will join us coming up at 8:30. We can ask him about that. And Pablo said that this is a must-win game. 7 games to go. They got to win 5 of 7 in his estimation to make the playoffs. And Kansas City's below them in the standings, so excellent opportunity to pick up a W in 3 points Saturday night. Pablo will be here at 8:30. Kevin Graham will be talking football at 8 o'clock. DJ and PK, that is what is trending. It's brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. When we come back, hot takes or toast? We got the question. Next, stay with us.
Nobody gets you ready for Utah football more than the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready?
Kyle Whittingham and the Utes hit the road for a battle against Wyoming and Laramie. Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
DJ and PK. It is time for the question of the day.
We only do birthdays, not deaths. Don't bring us down. Jeez.
Hot takes or toast? What are your hot takes? BYU fans, what are you going to do? What do BYU fans do during a bye week?
Well, I know they do one thing.
Yes.
Root against Utah.
Seems to be an automatic.
Yes. You want the conference to do well, but not at the expense of Utah's success.
Frank, watch Utah get beat! Exclamation point.
Told you.
There it is.
I'm brother told you.
Jay, watch the Utes play.
Yeah. No, you don't watch the Utes lose, man. You got to have all those losing vibes.
David says, go to the Wyoming-Utah game. Now, that seems like a lot of effort.
In BYU gear.
Find the whole stadium against you. Aaron says, eat a cougar tail or take a trip to the BYU Creamery.
Or why not both?
A cougar tail with a waffle cone chaser.
Well, you don't have to have them at the same time.
Michael, watch the Utes and the Aggie games.
Okay. Yeah, they're overlapping a little bit towards the end of Utah's game. Maybe it'll be out of hand. You can flip over to see the Agsters. 6 o'clock versus 7:45. That'll work.
That'll put you around halftime, early third quarter. But like you said, maybe the Utes have opened up a lead by then.
Yeah.
Nathan, enjoy a stress-free day of college football.
Oh, come on. Stress. Why would you be stressed?
Because you're way into the winning and losing. You're way into these games.
You're not playing.
Doesn't matter. You're emotionally invested.
Just sit back. Take it easy. Come on. Stress? You haven't had stress the last 2 weeks. So what's any different?
2 easy wins.
And your stress, it simply doesn't matter.
Only matters what those guys down on the field do. The ones running around on the grass.
Yeah. Or the rubberized pellets, as you say.
Yes. Certain road games.
No, I get it. You get caught up. Your emotions, you get so involved into it that you end up feeling like you're there, and you know that your emotions can do nothing to change the outcome, but you can't help yourself. And the bigger the stakes, or the bigger the anticipated stakes, sometimes the stakes are real. Sometimes earlier in the season they're not. Well, I think they will be for the BYU fans. To a good degree, we shall see. I mean, all these games, man, they're just going to be lives of their own. I just don't know that I can look at BYU's schedule and say, hey, this is a stress-free game. That's a stress-free game. No, we got 10 more to go, and I don't know that I can say anyone for sure. I wouldn't bet on anything when it comes to this team this year because of the fact that, you know, your defense is really good, so that should allow you to be in each and every game.
Nice, each and every good work.
And your offense, obviously it's a work in progress. You can say, is it suspect? Remains to be seen. And you want Grizzly Bear Bachmeier to progress. You want the playbook opened up because the way you've won games now, is that the way you can win games later? You can argue no. you can argue that, hey, we're going to have some explosives. We're going to have to get that ball downfield. And, is he ready for that? Can he do it? And what level, if he can do it occasionally, can he do it consistently? Does he got this? And it's no big deal. He's that special, rare freshman, in the way that Daniels did in the NFL last year. You wouldn't have had any idea he was a rookie. And it's a different level, obviously. But
the storyline's the same. People weren't predicting it. They weren't expecting it. And then you watch the games, and he delivered big time.
Right. And all of a sudden, for that franchise, it changed almost overnight in the outlook and how expectations now are through the roof. And then you see what does Washington do with those expectations. Just because you had a good year last year doesn't mean you're going to have a good year last year. We'll see what the Devils do, right? I mean, they lost an unbelievable game. It was the worst loss they've ever had in program history, blah, blah, blah. They suck. They're dropping like rocks. All right, and everybody's down on them. It's funny listening to Dillingham. He couldn't be more positive. It's obviously he's playing the psychological game. All summer. Oh, we didn't do crap this year. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this team's looking great. We had our great practices. Let's see what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Straight out of the handbook.
Yeah, exactly, precisely. Yeah, and I listen to it when I go to the gym. They always post it, and you can see what he's trying to do, and they're trying to find themselves, as you say. So for the Cougars, where are they as far as being able to have an offense that you can count on? I think that obviously the offense has been good enough to go 2-0, but the competition has been very weak. Although I take that back. I think the competition defensively for Stanford was decent enough, and they struggled. They should have put them away. Fortunately for them, with the good special teams and then the good defense, that there isn't this big missed opportunity when there's a missed opportunity. When you get the ball 4 times at the 50 or inside and only come away with 6 points, those are missed opportunities. And a lot of times, those things can hurt you. It's like putting a runner on third with less than 2 outs. You're expected to get that runner in, and as the game progresses, that could come back to haunt you. Well, BYU's defense, certainly against Stanford, obviously, it didn't come back to haunt them. So there's a little less pressure on that offense to make sure they capitalize when they're given great field position, because 4 times at midfield or better and only 6 points, that's not nearly good enough.
Get on the road in a conference game against Colorado, and that could be a different story. Certainly some of the bigger road games you have later, right? Iowa State, Texas
Yeah, and
Tech.
home games for that matter. But I get your point. Road games, yeah. I mean, every experience that the Grizzly Bear experiences is his first time.
It's all brand new.
Yeah. And that gives you, as a fan, a sense of nervousness, which I completely understand, because he hasn't proven anything at this level, which if he had proven something after 2 games, it would be mind-blowing. It's just not the way it works.
You really can't, especially given the level of competition.
Right. Well,
even if he looked great, we'd be sitting here saying, wait till they get ranked teams. And
yeah, if they had an independent schedule, I don't know that he would be starting. I don't know that I could say that.
Well, then it could be back to the old play a guy with some experience when you're playing these better teams, and break him when the schedule softens up in mid-October.
But that was one of the reasons that basically since June I've been saying don't count him out, because they're going to need him. So the situation dictates, and they can argue, say, well, wait a second, hold on here. He won the competition. I get that. And that's, largely what they say, and that's I believe it largely. They say it 100%. I believe it largely, but I think I can still have my doubt if the schedule was different. But it's
given
not.
What the schedule was, if it was close, they could give it to him. He had to at least be close.
Well,
if not outright win it.
They had to play him because he is their guy. The other guys were brought in for depth. He is their guy, so they had to play him. I never understood why people were saying Hillstead so confidently, vigorously, adamantly, maybe is a better word of those words. That wasn't the case. I don't think that was ever the case. That it was, in my mind, which is why I said and wrote about it multiple times, was always going to be Bachmeier unless he totally fell over himself in August training camp, which he was not going to do. They weren't going to allow him to do that, for that matter, because they wanted him to win the job. They will say no, but I think they did. They said no.
I think that's where the he's the guy thing comes in. They want him to win the job. He's still got to do it.
Yeah.
And if he's throwing picks all over the place during camp, maybe they have to go with somebody else.
Well, they would have had to, because the
as long
players
as
would have seen it.
Right. But as long as he's close, and as long as he gives him, then, And if he just wins it outright, then that just makes it easier.
You can't give somebody something they didn't earn. That sends an awful message to everyone on the team. And they all can see it. They know it. And it has to be, when you're talking about, like, for instance, the punt return deal. Kingston puts the ball on the turf a couple of times. They bring in Tiger. He catches the ball. He has a nice run. And now Kelly Papinga is saying, hey, probably going to go with Bachmeier. Yeah. It's competition. You owe it.
You owe it to everybody else in the program.
And everybody, you owe it down the line.
Right. All the players on the field, all the players on the sideline, all the assistant coaches, right.
And you owe it toward your own credibility as a coach. Because once you lose credibility, and they've had coaches
lose credibility.
You're shot. It's over. It's done. It's just a matter of time of playing out the string. And everybody's going their own direction, and it becomes a sad state of affairs. And we've seen that. And so far, obviously, we haven't seen that. So it was obvious that they were going to have that. And I think that the nerves of the fans, back to the original post, would be not as heightened if, well, say as it will next year and the year after. Because I believe he'll be a 3-year starter. And then at that point, is he good enough to go to the NFL? Does he want to? Does he want to come back for his senior year? All that remains to be seen. That's too far in the future.
Once he's got a year under his belt, and we just had Kalani talking about young guys developing and how bright the future is on the D-line, the hopes will be and expectations will be much higher. But back to the original question, what are Cougar fans doing this weekend?
The hopes will be much higher for him, but I don't know about necessarily for the team.
Well, we'll have to see what the team looks like around him, and we'll have to see how other top teams.
Stars off the defense this year.
Absolutely.
Kelly's gone. I imagine Glasgow would go to the NFL.
Lose a star off the offense. Chase is out, right? This is his last year.
Correct. Yeah. I don't know that Chase Roberts can be a star this year with a freshman quarterback.
That does seem to, the best laid plans and all that. And he was coming back, and he thought Jake could be the quarterback, but everything changes.
Exactly, yes.
Although, to your point about big plays, and they've got one over 25 yards in the pass game this year. They've got several in the run game, but one in the pass game, Chase for 41 yards. But it's tough. He's going to be a marked guy, and he's playing with a less experienced quarterback, and that's a rough combo.
I don't understand why he didn't transfer to Utah.
Oh, there you go.
What?
Stir that pot.
Once that happened, it's better than, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. What are BYU fans going to do during a bye week? How about this one?
What?
Russell, watch the college they actually attended.
What's that mean?
They're going to be watching the school they went to, not BYU. This is another shot at, they got a huge fan base, but it's not people who went to the school. It's just church members.
Okay. Okay. I didn't
the
get
classic,
that.
I went to Arizona State, but I root for BYU or whatever.
Oh,
they went to Utah.
That doesn't happen.
They went to Utah.
No, back that up.
That doesn't happen?
No.
Okay.
Hell no. No. Absolutely not. I was there.
Yeah.
There was not one BYU fan who wore the maroon and gold.
Okay.
How dare you? You ruined my whole morning. I was trying to be nice, and you got to go do that.
And I wrecked a football Friday.
Yes. You've lost me now.
I backed the car right into the brick wall.
You're a jerk. You had to do that. You did that on purpose.
I did, actually. You told us about all the fans at that big game in Tempe last year and how many fans showed up in the blue and white.
Yeah, they're BYU fans.
And some of them went to ASU.
No.
And live in the Valley of the Sun.
No.
I believe it to be true. Not only that, I think some of them went to NAU.
No.
And they stayed in Babbitt Hall.
You will leave this show with a black eye.
Hey, so here's what we got. We got Kevin Graham, all the laughs at 8. We got Pablo with all the info at 8:30. At 9 o'clock, PK and I are going to fight.
I didn't necessarily say
throw hands.
I was going to drop you, although that's a distinct possibility.
You're Jersey. You fight dirty.
There's other ways you can record a black eye.
Kicking, biting, and scratching going on.
Read that, what he said again.
Watch the college they actually attended.
No.
All the people moved up here from L.A. Of course, a lot of schools in L.A. don't play football. USC and UCLA do, but there's a bunch of schools you could have gone to down there.
What do you think about that?
Anymore.
No, I actually know. I mean, it's just so anecdotal, though. It's not like I know thousands. No one knows thousands.
Right.
But, I played ball with Latter-day Saint kids, boys, several years.
Growing up in Arizona?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure. Yeah.
And I can state everyone I knew was a devil. Because, especially then, when it was the show at that time of year.
It was a show in town. They were really good. There was no NFL there.
Right.
There also weren't a lot of games on TV, so it gets harder to watch teams that are out of the area.
It was a two-pronged sports fandom thing. The Suns
and the Devils.
Yeah, it was.
The Suns and the Sun Devils.
It was overwhelming. Maybe
I get the logic there.
Maybe it's changed. But see, why would they root for BYU, though? Because there's a lot of folks that have moved to the Valley, obviously, but they've retained their fandom. They haven't.
Oh, I do believe that's true. I've told you, and you haven't really weighed in either way on this. I think if the Big Ten expands, I think ASU is a prime candidate. They're an AAU school now, to whatever that matters.
Utah.
It's a huge TV market, and there are tons of Big Ten alumni in the Valley of the Sun.
There are. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's Midwest people. There are a dime a dozen there.
Yes. And so there are people who went to Illinois. There are people who went to Ohio State. There are people who went to Michigan, on down the line.
Right.
Tons of people from Wisconsin.
I think there's been some that have gone, like my sister. But she grew up, I moved when I was younger. My sisters are much older than me. Mm-hmm. They moved way later than I did chronologically. And so...
but nonetheless, they've been there for decades.
Right. And I think my one sister has received advanced degrees all the way to the top. If you knew her, drive you nuts. Her level of achievement...
Massive.
Oh, yeah. Me and my other sister, I was always hating her for that. And so she's took on a casual ASU fandom.
Yeah.
She's got a master's and a doctorate.
I have a college roommate, and his job took him back to D.C., and then his kids are growing up there, and they're all huge Baltimore Ravens fans.
Yeah, but that's the pro level. I don't think you have to. I think that's two different things. You could be a pro fan and live anywhere on the planet.
We do see that.
Yeah.
We got people here rooting for all sorts of teams.
But the college, I think there has to be some kind of connection. I'm just not going to wake up tomorrow. Man, I really like them Georgia Bulldogs. I'm going to have some kind of connection.
If you live down the street. If you move to Atlanta, which is actually an excellent example, because a lot of people do move for Atlanta, right? There's a lot of corporate jobs there. That's the kind of place people relocate to.
But there's got to be some kind of connection. Whereas the pro, one of my best buddies is sad today because he's a Washington Commanders fan. Yeah.
And he's lived in Utah for how many years?
His entire life.
Yeah.
Literally his entire life. But yet, he's a huge, huge fan. I forget how it came about, but it did. And I think you see that far more commonly. I think at the college level, there's got to be at least a minimal connection. You just can't. Because then why wouldn't you just pick? I mean, I really was huge Alabama fan during the Saban years, minus the first season. After that, oh, yeah.
Just a total front runner.
Well, he had to get it going a little bit. You got to give him time. That's why I say every coach deserves time.
Saban needed time.
Right. And then look what Pete Carroll.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, he needed time.
First year average, second year huge, third year championship.
I wonder under BYU, if you didn't go to college, say you live anywhere in the U.S. and you didn't go to college, how many of those people, whatever actual numerical number that is, that's 100% of them, right? So they didn't go to college. How many of them in the U.S. are BYU fans? Then those of you who didn't go to BYU and went to some other place outside of Utah.
Yeah. If there was a little pie graph of the whole BYU fan base, what percentage went to BYU, what percentage didn't go to school at all, but they're church members, so they adopt BYU, and what percentage actually went to another school but adopted BYU.
But two of them, in-state, out-of-state. Right. I wonder how many Aggie / I think we got to take UVU out of it.
They don't play football.
Because they don't play football, obviously.
Right, yeah.
And that's why I say that. But you've got...
But if your school did play football.
Utah State, and then you can throw in Weber for that matter. And then how many of them
I think
are LDS folks, went to college, got the degree, or even didn't, but they went to college, and are BYU fans number one. Not... Well, sure, I root for them. Tony Finau, Dick Harmon had a thing the other day. They had a BYU alumni gathering down there at Riverside, and Tony was there, Johnny Miller was there, and a bunch of big names. Mike Weir was there, blah, blah, blah. And Dick wrote a story, a piece on a column on it. And Tony says, I grew up in Salt Lake City. I'm a Utah fan, but I don't hate BYU. So he didn't go to college.
Right. Yeah, we know his story.
But he committed, at least orally, to BYU. Now, what does that mean? I don't know. It doesn't, because it didn't mean anything.
It didn't mean anything because he ended up going pro.
Right.
It's like I told you that crazy story about Rory McIlroy committed to Middle Tennessee State when he was like 15.
Yeah.
Then by the time he's 16, he's crushing in tournaments. Everybody's like, that guy's not going to play college golf. He's going straight to the tour.
Oh yeah, man. If I was ever a recruitable athlete, which I wasn't because I sucked, I would have had like as many schools offered. I would have committed to every one of them.
Coaches have talked about guys like you. You wouldn't be alone.
But you want me to go? You're showing me love? I'm in.
Yes. But again, coaches are recruiting.
How do you say no?
That's a specific personality type, and they try to figure it out. Okay, the kid just told me yes. Is he the kind of kid who means, yes, he's coming here, and now we got the inside track, and we're in great shape? Or is he the kind of kid who's told him four coaches yes in the last 48 hours?
That would have been me. I mean, I'd pay for every penny of my college, and you're telling me you're going to give it for free? I am in. And then you told me, okay, yeah, absolutely. I would have had like 25, however many offers I had, that's how many I would have said yes to.
DJ PK, Kevin Graham's talking football at 8 o'clock. Pablo Massoni talking RSL at 8:30. Stay with us right here on The Zone.
It's another battle for the Aggies, and the KSL Sports Zone has it covered. The Aggies kick off conference play as they welcome Air Force to Logan. Your home for all the play-by-play coverage of Aggie football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is DJ and PK on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The band of the day, Johnny Cash, brought to you by Live Nation. The legendary singer-songwriter Johnny Cash died of respiratory failure on September 12, 2003. For all the live concerts and events in 2025, check out livenation.com.
Yeah, I think he was only like 71, something like that. Pretty young.
Question of the morning, what do BYU fans do during a bye week? David says, watch other games. Probably check out East Carolina.
Ooh, get a scouting report.
Yeah.
Call up Jay Hill.
East Carolina, Coastal Carolina, ESPN Plus 5.
A lot of Carolinas. I got Carolina on my mind.
That is. It's all Carolina all the time.
In my mind, I'm going to Carolina.
Kyle says we're holding our annual Scary Movie Boys Night with my friends from high school, and we're eating dinner at Kenny J's Barbecue.
They have mouth-watering ribs.
I've heard that.
I don't know what mouth-watering is. You say that like 6-8 times a show. Mouth-watering.
Yeah.
What is that?
The saliva starts flowing at the mere thought, ready to chew and digest, because you're looking forward to it so much.
Well, okay, why don't you say spit-watering then?
Ooh. Doesn't sound as good.
I mean, mouth?
Yep.
But yeah, they do have good food over there. I can attest to that. I mean, you thought upsetting me with the Sun Devil talk, trying to get a rib off of your plate was impossible.
Ha! Lock him down.
Jeez, man.
Daniel says I will be constructing a Kyle Whittingham voodoo doll, and then I'm going to make him pick his nose on camera. Daniel doesn't like Kyle
I don't think
Whittingham.
I've ever seen him be a nose picker on camera.
Good.
Well, I mean, if you got one and you want it out, what do you mean good? I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Brother Bandit says for the first time in a long time, I'm going to watch Utah. Go Utes. Crush Wyoming.
What do you mean? Well, why would you be go Utes if it's the first time in a long time? That don't make no sense.
Rooting for the Big 12. Wants more ranked teams in the conference.
He's not a BYU fan. There is no BYU fan who's rooting for BYU. I mean, Utah. No BYU fan rooting for Utah against the Cowboys. They want
No one.
They want the reincarnation of Josh Allen tomorrow, starting at 6 o'clock, and Jim Kick.
Okay, this is a good.
Jay Novacek.
This is a good guess. What do BYU fans do during the bye week? And it looks like he's got him. What is that monkey doing? Checking the spots on the whatever that is. I don't even know what that is.
Looks like it's the armrest of the couch.
Yeah, like an armrest of a sofa, and he's kind of like tracing the pattern a little bit.
Yeah.
Just staring at the
Looks
armrest.
a little boring.
It does.
I don't know if you're a monkey. Maybe it's okay.
That's a pretty funny guess.
You know, Cheech is sitting in for Youngster.
Yes, I do.
25-year-old Cheech. He probably had no idea yesterday when we were talking about Joe Glenn flipping off Kyle Whittingham. Did you have any?
Do you know anything about that story? Did you heard about that?
No. Well, I had earlier in the week on Jake and Ben, we had a Wyoming guest on, and he was talking about he was at that game.
But it was the first you'd heard of it.
Yeah, it was at the it was the first I had heard of it.
And
yeah.
you mentioned monkeys, so I told him, hey, make band of the day monkeys. He's looking around. Do you mean the Arctic monkeys? No, never heard of the monkeys.
You never heard of the monkeys, huh?
I said, what's the song? The famous song that Smash Mouth did. Then I saw her face.
Believer, I'm a believer.
Yeah. What was it, Shrek? He had no clue.
Wow.
No clue.
That's what I thought the song was from. I thought it was Shrek.
The Beatles and the Stones come over. They're all these English bands, and so they make up this band and they give them a TV show and they do all this goofy stuff. I think the show ran like 4 years. I'm sure you can find clips out there.
I don't
they had a couple hits along the way. So.
Oh yeah, I'm a believer.
Yeah, I'm a
and then I
believer.
saw, which I think was written by Neil Diamond.
Oh really?
Yes. And it was in Shrek. I mean, sure, Smash Mouth did it, but still. And they did a good version. I think that singer is since deceased, but yeah. But he had no clue. The Arctic monkeys. No, the monkey monkeys. You know.
All right, we're going to take a break on that note. When we come back, Kevin Graham, all sorts of nonsense and plenty of football. I bet he's very impressed by the Green Bay Packers. We got that. See if he's got any locks this weekend. Kevin Graham next. Stay with us.